other times when people don't intend to act like jerks, but they do act like jerks and they do harm others. And so they are mean without meaning to be mean. And it's really important for that person, as well as for the person that they're harming, to point out this behavior so they can stop it.
Like, is that what condescending is? Is that like a version of bullying? Is, to condescend someone? Is that like, because that's something that people can just do without even knowing they're doing it. But if someone's watching it, you can see it happening. It doesn't feel comfortable to see it. But the person who's doing it sometimes doesn't even know. Like, is that a version of it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's condescension is a version of something that managers tend to do without realizing. They think, I'm in charge, and then they start to behave differently towards people than they did before they became managers. I mean, another version of it is very often people who have power feel more comfortable physically approaching and getting close to others. And that can be a form of bullying as well, usually unintended, sometimes intended. And sometimes it goes all the way to one of the things I talk about in the book is you get bias, prejudice, and bullying. And then when you layer power on top, bias and prejudice become discrimination, sort of bullying plus power becomes harassment, and physical touch plus power, whether it's positional or you're just physically larger, becomes sort of a physical violation. And so you want to make sure that you're taking care to create checks and balances on power in your organization so that you don't get discrimination.
Okay, so the people that are listening, right, and they're hearing this and they're like, wow, I don't want this in my company, and I'm a leader, and so I don't want this in my team. She just said a lot of stuff. And obviously everybody should go to buy the book, right?
Yes, buy the book, read the book.
But in terms of high level stuff, so what are some things that the listeners can do today, or, like the few things to get them started? Because this does feel like a very large topic. It feels like we're trying to climb like a huge mountain. So what's the base camp? What's the first?
Yeah, base camp, I think, are the bias disruptors. So get your team comfortable disrupting each other. Start with yourself. Get them comfortable disrupting your biases at the very least. And if they can do it for you, they're much more likely to do it for each other as well. In terms of preventing prejudice from manifesting on your team, you really want to think about having an sort of a code of conduct that explains to everyone there's a line, and on one side of the line is everyone's freedom to believe whatever they want, and on the other side of the line is they're not free to impose their beliefs on others. They're not free to do or say, and every team, every company draws that line in a slightly different place. And so the more explicit you can be about where that line is, the better. And then in terms of bullying, you want to make sure you're, again, creating these consequences for bullying, that you're not promoting the brilliant jerk on your team, that you're not giving people a big bonus for achieving results but harming the rest of the team, that you're learning how to shut down the bloviating bullshitter in the meeting so that everybody has a chance to talk. So those are three things that leaders can do: bias disruptors, create a code of conduct, and create consequences for bullying. That'll really begin to chip away at these problems.